Happy New Year! Happy 2023. Do you remember any story about a new year? There are so many stories that happen precisely during the new year, and one of them stayed very vividly in my mind. And this is the year 1969, the new year. I had spent Christmas of 1968 with my parents in Parral, Chihuahua, Mexico. And then the next couple of days, we took a bus. It took us about 11 hours to get to Victoria, Ciudad Victoria, Tamaulipas, in Mexico, too. And the purpose of that trip was for my parents to come to Tina's house, my bride, and ask formally for her hand in marriage to me. When we got there the next day, they invited us for dinner. And after dinner, there were a lot of talks and laughs and all that. And then finally, my father had the courage to interrupt the conversation and say, "Well, I guess you have a slight idea of why we're here." And Don Leonardo, Tina's dad, said, "Yes, I think we have a slight idea of why you're here." And the conversation continued, the formalities about the marriage and all that took place. But that was a very special moment because at that moment, our engagement formally took place, even though she already had a ring and even though we had already arranged the date and everything. This moment sealed all those preparations and all that engagement. The next day, I had to take a plane from Monterrey to go back to Boston. That's where I was working. And I was a little sad, but I was happy. It had been very good moments. I had spent the New Year's with my wife, Tina, her parents, and some friends. We celebrated and we were very happy. But of course, when we said goodbye, well, there were tears, at least in my eyes. But those tears were of happiness and of sadness. And I knew that very soon we would be together and I wouldn't have to be leaving and separating so many times. That is my story for 1969 New Year's. And little did I know then that 54 years later, Tina and I would be celebrating with our three children and their spouses and nine grandchildren, and two of them are married, so with their spouses as well. Happy New Year and the best to you. Goodbye. See you tomorrow.